Hey, Glovelies, and welcome back to Glove Actually. I'm Courtney.
I'm Hallie.
And I'm Melissa.
And this week we are going to talk all about probably our favorite topic to talk about, and that is Silly Goose players and all of the fun MLB shenanigans that are out there. But of course, if there's anything that you guys want us to talk about on the podcast, be sure to leave it in the comments and be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to the Glove Actually podcast on Spotify. And be sure to turn on post notifications to stay in the loop when we post new episodes. All right, Glovelies. Let's kick things off. Everybody got their Pookie of the week?
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Hallie, who is your Pookie of the week?
My Pookie of the week is Mr. Softy, the ice cream at the Tampa Bay Devil Rays home field. Mr. Softy, you have my whole heart.
Mr. Softy.
How could he not with a name like Mr. Softy? That's what every girl wants.
Every girl wants Mr. Softy.
Mr. Softy makes me Mrs. Melty.
I can't stand you. Oh my God. Melissa, who's your Pookie of the week?
My Pookie of the week is Francisco Lindor of the New York Mets. I was doing some research for this episode, and during my research, I watched this Mic'd Up on ESPN where he was featured. And
I
they
love
had his
Mic'd Up. It's so funny.
Me too. I was watching it last night too. I think they had Suarez mic'd up last night. Anyways, but they had his wife mic'd up too, which was really cool. So he's playing the game. He's talking to ESPN. His wife's asking him questions and he's answering those questions. And at the whole time, he's also joking around with the ump at the same time. I was really impressed with his ability to multitask, but I was also really impressed with his relationship with his wife. They seem to have just like amazing, supportive relationship. They support each other's careers. I really loved their whole interaction. Apparently, like she runs a parenting podcast. So I was really impressed with that. So, and like I said, he was still like joking around the whole time. So I think I'm going to need to watch some more Mets games so I can see more of him because I thought he was fabulous.
For sure. Shout out Francisco Lindor. He's amazing. I also loved when they mic'd everybody up at the All-Star game this year.
Yes.
That was also really, really great. PCA has a fan in me for life simply because of, what he said. The commentators asked him, they said, hey, what advice do you have for kids that you meet that say, oh, PCA, I want to be just like you? I will never forget this. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but he said, I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be exactly who you're supposed to be.
That is good.
I want you to stay on your own path, and I want you to be exactly who you're supposed to be. And that speaks volumes about who he is.
Mm-hmm.
I also really loved when Clayton Kershaw was mic'd up and he was like, hold on, I got to throw some cheese real quick.
Love it.
That's so funny. And then at one point, the commentators were like, hey, could you throw this specific pitch? And he was like, yeah, sure, I guess.
I mean, if I have to. It is what I'm getting paid to do.
I was like, yeah, sure, fine, why not? Oh my God.
Who's your Pookie of the week?
My Pookie of the week, I actually just saw him this past weekend. All of these episodes are airing a few weeks after we're actually recording them. So this past weekend, we went to see the Guardians play the Rays at Steinbrenner Field. It was their second to last homestand, and the Guardians won. Holler. So shout out Stephen Kwan. We love Stephen Kwan. And I actually got to see my Pookie in person. My Pookie of this week is Raymond from the Tampa Bay Rays. He is their main mascot, and he has such great style. He's got lots of swagger, and he gives great hugs. So Raymond, if you're out there listening, I love you, and you are my Pookie of the week this week. Hallie is giving me like the worst, like 1,000-mile stare you've ever seen in your life. She's like, how dare you?
I don't even hate him. I do like him. I'm just afraid of mascots. I think they're scary.
Oh my God. And yet, every time you have a Pookie of the week, it's a mascot.
It's a mascot.
Excuse you. Today, my Pookie of the week was a brand.
That's true.
I'm sure that they have a Mr. Softy mascot out there somewhere. Mr. Softy mascot, if you're out there, show yourself, please.
You're every girl's dream.
You're every girl's dream.
Okay, Glovelies, we want to hear from you. Who is your Pookie of the week this week? Leave it in the comments and be sure to tag your Pookie if you can. All right, moving on, Glovelies. Before we dive into our top 5 of the week, let's talk a little bit about the different shenanigans that exist within Major League Baseball. And what are some of your favorites?
I love baseball. Baseball players are so superstitious, and I think it's really fun to watch them do their superstitions when they have them possible. My favorite are people who like tap a base for some reason. I like when people do little like tumbles. I like if they like flip their bat around a little bit extra. I think that all makes it a much more interesting game. I think it's cool. It feels like we're being let into the psyche of the player.
Hallie is missing a very important one that as soon as I say it, she's gonna be like, oh my God, yes, this. She loves whenever Yandy Diaz gets on base and shakes his ass.
Oh yeah, I was about to say there's a couple of them that do that.
Yeah, I know he hasn't done it the last couple of games I've seen him play. I think he was mostly doing it last season. But Yandy Diaz, if you're listening, please start shaking your butt on base.
So it was funny. I read about one in one of my books recently, and I had never seen anybody do it until recently. I've never noticed players going up and using the bat to write something in the dirt before they go up to bat. I saw Jackson Holiday do it at one of the most recent games.
Fun.
Yes.
Do you know what he wrote?
Well, I in the book that I read, it was like their mom's initials or their girlfriend's initials. So I wonder if it's his wife's initials.
I recently saw on social media a clip of, I think it was pitchers playing tic-tac-toe in between innings.
I love it.
Yeah.
They made a crosshatch in the mound and then did an X or an O each time they were up to pitch. And I think that was really charming. I also just, in general, like when we see players even with opposing teams, be friendly and fun with each other. It really reminds me that they are, at the end of the day, colleagues playing a game.
It's very true. I think I also like the home run celebrations. Obviously, with Orioles, we have the Homer hose, but then also like the hats that they've been switch out throughout the year.
Yeah. Right now it's a Ravens helmet.
Right now it's a Ravens helmet. It was the Captain Jack Sparrow hat.
The Mariners have the trident that they use whenever they come into the dugout. And I think the Mets have like some kind of like plush helmet that they put on.
And I think someone has a Mjolnir Thor's hammer that they swooshed it out. I don't remember which team it was. It might have just been a one night only situation, but I did see that.
Interesting.
That's fun and charming. I think an important part of my job is being able to be silly at work. And so it's nice to see these people be silly at work too.
Yes. In order to do well together, you have to have fun together. And I think that is very important.
All right, moving on, Glovelies, we are going to dive right into our top 5 of the week. And this week, we are going to break down our top 5 Silly Goose players. All right.
I would love to start if that's
okay. Go for it. Yeah, no, please.
My number 5 Silly Goose player are the cats that make it into the outfields and run around.
So DJ Kitty.
I think it's so fun. I love cats. I love every kind of cat. And I like when they come in and just kind of stir things up for half an inning and then disappear.
I feel like I need to see this in person.
I would love to see a cat on a baseball field in person. I think I could be ascended to heaven like the Virgin Mary if I see a cat running around on the baseball field. Just beat me directly up. I'm done. There's nothing more for me to do.
Oh my God. All right. I'm going to go with my number 5 is players that laugh at themselves and their situations. So a couple that I can think of is like, for example, when Trevor Rogers had to go in and actually hit at one point, he joked around and put the helmet on backwards like he didn't know what he was doing.
Yes.
And then a few years ago, the Dodgers when Gavin Lux hit the wall, and then the team later on did the tape outline of him like on the wall. Oh my God, that was hilarious. Like I just love it when they can laugh at their mistakes or just like the situations that they're in. They can laugh at themselves. I feel like that's important.
Yes, 1000%. I absolutely agree. That's a very valid thing. I think when you see someone being silly, it automatically kind of makes them inherently more human. Mm-hmm. And when they're more human, then they don't necessarily feel like these great sports gods or celestial beings that a lot of people kind of think of them as. So it gives it a much more human element that I think a lot of people forget exists in the game. So my number 5 is anyone who has a memorable silly as they run around the bases. A lot of the different teams have specific sillies that they do. I know the Orioles, when they get to first base, they turn the faucet, and then when they get to second or third, they hit the sprinkler. And the Padres do the hang loose when they reach base. Josh Naylor from the Mariners actually has a really great silly that he's done a bunch of different sillies as he's gotten around the bases, but I feel like he's just fun to watch as he goes around, just because, again, he's not taking himself too seriously. He's just enjoying the moment, and that's something that I really have a lot of respect for. So shout out Josh Naylor.
Love it.
Hallie?
Yeah, my number 4 this week is King Big Dumper Cal Riley. I think it speaks for itself. Anyone who lets their nickname be Big Dumper, you have a fan for life in me.
You know, he has like a brand deal with a line of porta potties.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so silly.
I'll move into one.
I think at the Little League World Series had him sign a toilet seat.
Excellent.
That's hilarious.
I know.
I'll move into one of his porta potties.
That's a random thing you're putting on your wall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa, who is your number 4?
So speaking of catchers with big butts that we love and we cannot love.
That's where we're going to transition. Okay.
Yeah, that's my segue into this. It is my number 4 is Adley. I'm calling out Adley specifically.
Shout out Adley's butt.
It's lovely.
Adley's butt. Melissa's your biggest fan.
I'm over here sweating. Okay. Woo, Adley. Anyways, so reasons why Adley's my number 4. One, did you guys see the Valentine's Day pickup lines that they did early? That was hilarious. He could not keep a straight face to save his life. He just delivered them so well. And the look on his face when Ryan O'Hearn had the hot mic earlier this year.
Oh my God, that was my favorite moment of 2025.
Yes. And just
so it was my joy and my pleasure to actually educate 2 other like teenage fans that were sitting around at the game about like what it was. That was my favorite thing. I will never shut up about that moment because it was so funny. Ryan O'Hearn, I have said it a million times. I'll say it a million more times. I love you.
Oh, I loved him already, but I love him even more after that. But then Adley's face was just like, yep, that just happened.
I will say Melissa and I both know another creator who goes by the handle Adley's Intern. Mm-hmm. And Adley's Intern was one of like my first internet friends within like the fan community. And we would send memes back and forth. And whenever Adley would make like a fun face, I would always like send it to them. And I'm like, here, let's go ahead and make this a meme now. Thank you.
He's made so many of them.
Yeah, he's made so many of them. Yeah, yes. His new his Mercedes Ends meme. That was me.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes. Yep. I love it.
Yes.
And then just 2 more Adley moments I want to mention. I really loved how he tried to sell his own jersey in the MLB store in New York City.
Also, I haven't seen that, but I need to see that now.
Oh, it's great. And then the video of him driving with Gunnar and Gunnar singing and he's recording Gunnar. I just love that video so much.
That's very Pookie behavior.
It really speaks to how well they know each other and how close they are and just how goofy they are. I love it so much.
My number 4 is actually my Pookie of the Week from last week. It's Harrison Bader from the Philadelphia Phillies. In addition to the Chug Jug bat and like a lot of the fun style and swagger he has, he refers to his fans as Bader Tots. And this was like born because a fan handed him a tater tot to eat like during the middle of a game. And this was in like 2019, I think. Handed him a tater tot in the middle of the game and he ate it. And then it became like a thing, like it took off and he got his own dish. It was like a tater tot, like a loaded tater tot dish. Okay, Hallie, who's your number 3?
My number 3 is the entire Dodgers team. You are full of silly geese, but mostly Kike Hernandez and Shohei Ohtani. You are the silliest gooses of a team of silly gooses.
That is a flock of silly geese.
Yeah,
a blender of silly geese, if you will.
I think that's how they draft their team. Is this person silly? It's giving corporate banana ball.
Will you fit in here? Are you willing to make a jackass of yourself?
Yeah.
A team of personality hires.
Yes.
There's got to be something in the bubble yum that they've got in Los Angeles, because that whole team is just full of silly geese.
That needs to be their motto. There's something in the bubble yum. Oh man.
Melissa, who's your number 3?
All right, my number 3 is players that have outrageous celebration dances. As we all know, I'm a huge fan of whenever somebody dances. I do love when our O's do the running jump, hip bump. I'm not really qualified to dance. I do the dances that the Boston Red Sox outfielders used to do. Magical. I've seen some dugout dances. Apparently Andrew McCutcheon's really famous for doing some dancing on the side. So I love it when they just get into the groove and celebrate with a good old dance.
Love that. We love a good Sally. My number 3 has already been mentioned. It is Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners. One, again, anybody that has the nickname Big Dumper, I have a lot of respect for them. But 2, something that not a lot of people know about is that if you go to a Seattle Mariners game, you can pay to have Big Dumper break up with your significant other on the Jumbotron. That's a real thing.
Stunning.
You can get dumped by Big Dumper.
I wouldn't even be mad. This is amazing. Cool.
Yeah.
I need a boyfriend to take me to a Mariners game so he can dump me on the Jumbotron. For the attention, I crave the spotlight.
It's true.
Who thought of that? That's freaking brilliant.
Cal Raleigh probably did.
Oh, I love it.
Hallie, who is your number 2?
My number 2 is anybody who touches another player's butt for fun.
Speaking of big butt sticks, do not lie.
Listen, Shohei Ohtani loves a butt slap. I have watched like compilation videos of that man just being unserious. And my favorite part is when he was in like a line of people that were like butt slapping each other. And then once he got to the end of the line, he went around and rejoined the line so that he would get
another tap,
another butt slap.
Yeah, good for him.
Melissa, who is your number 2?
My number 2, players that goof around when they get hit by the ball while at bat or when they're about to tag each other, trying to get each other out.
Shohei's another one. Yeah.
So, like Tampa Bay has a history of the players that act like fools when they get hit. You have Brett Phillips, who pretended to come after Jorge Lopez. Carlos Gomez pretended like he was shot and fell to the ground.
That was so funny. I also believe that was off of a position player.
Yes. Oh my God. That even makes it better. And then you had Luis Ariz the other night dropped and did push-ups. I don't even know if he meant for that to be funny, but that was hilarious.
That was very swift of him.
But I feel like it brings just this childlike little league quality to the game that makes it more fun. And especially when they're trying to tag each other out and they're kind of just like running back and forth. I love it when they do that. It just brings me so much joy.
100%. My number 2, again, has already been mentioned. It's Kike Hernandez from the Los Angeles Dodgers. The entire Los Angeles Dodgers is really my honorable mention because they're all pretty silly. Like we said before, they just have a full flock of silly geese over there in Los Angeles. But Kike Hernandez is the silliest and the most baby girl of all of the silly geese over there. He's just so unafraid to look silly. And we love a man who's unafraid to look silly.
I think about double fisting popsicles all the time.
Yeah. Oh my God. The popsicles crack me up too. I'm like, good for you, buddy.
At first it looked like there was just one, and then a second popsicle entered the chat, and then he was double fisting popsicles. That was unmatched. We love Kike, baby. All right, Hallie. Who's your number 1?
My number 1 is a player I get to watch play every time I go to an in-person Tampa Bay Devil Rays game, and that is third baseman Junior Caminero. He is very fun for me to watch. He is somebody who does little dancey dances in the field. He will tap butts with the people he knows. And at the most recent game we went to, there was a little league team a couple rows in front of us, convinced him to play along with their twerpin, and it was very cute, and I could tell he was having a lot of fun.
I love it when they get involved with the kids. Mine, of course, is an Oriole, had to be, and it's Colin Cowser for several reasons. First of all, I just always think back to last year when they made it into the playoffs and they were having that celebration. But Kevin Brown was trying to interview Cowser and he's like, I don't know, let's take a selfie. Also, earlier this year when they had kids opening day for the Orioles, they had a kids Q&A session. We took our kids. We could cash in Berlin points to go. And Hauser was the player who was answering questions for the kids. And he's just like a giant kid himself. He just relates so well to all the children and the questions that they were asking. Because they were asking, not just baseball questions, like, what's your favorite Lego set? What's your favorite Star Wars movie? And during that, they asked him, like, hey, who's your best friend on the team? And he's like awkwardly like, hey, I like Gunner over there and Mountie. And he called out Westy because he was wearing a sleeveless warm-up shirt. And he's like, let's do a Westy chant. It was just so cute. He's just like a giant kid himself. And then, of course, everyone moves whenever he comes to the plate and does something great. So I just love Hauser. I think he's so goofy.
He's so fun to cheer for.
He is.
Yeah. And I think Kevin Brown would agree.
Yes, that was so funny.
My number one is actually kind of something we've touched on a little bit, but anyone who tumbles on the ground for fun, especially after being hit by a pitch. Luis Arise doing push-ups after he stumbled a little bit. Yusei Kikuchi tumbled off of the mound and he like rolled his ankle or something, and then he like did a backward roll. If anyone that's just has a good attitude about, hey, I stumbled and I'm not perfect and maybe I do know how to walk. That's always really, really funny to me. So anyone that can legitimately laugh at themselves is always going to be number one in my book.
Agreed. It makes it best and makes it fun to watch. I do have an honorable mention. I do, and Hallie kind of already hit on it, but whenever you see players that used to be on the team together and then they're playing each other and they're joking around, like the other night, our boy Ryan O'Hearn, speaking of hitting poor Kobe in the nuts, he kind of gave a little tap while he was on first base. And I was like, oh, look at the boys. They look so happy to be back together. Like that kind of stuff is just fun and adorable to watch.
Love that. All right. So what do you guys think about our top 5 picks for the silliest geese in all of Major League Baseball? Let us know in the comments. All right, Glovelies, before we wrap up, we are going to leave you not with some recommended reading this week, but recommended viewing brought to you by our very own Melissa at No Regrets Reader. So, Melissa, I'm excited for this episode.
I know you are.
Get away.
I know you're so excited. This week, we are going to hit on our first baseball movie, and it is Fever Pitch.
Fever Pitch.
Yes. All right, Fever Pitch. Rom-com from 2005. This movie is about being one of God's most pathetic creatures. I'm quoting the movie. It's not my words. A Red Sox fan. Now, in all fairness, the movie was about the team before they broke the curse, but you know what I mean. So, plot for you. Ben, who's played by Jimmy Fallon, is an 8th grade math teacher. He meets Lindsay, who is played by Drew Barrymore, when he takes his students on a field trip to learn about how math is applied in the business world. The two are immediately attracted to one another, and even though Lindsay typically dates hot corporate douchebags, she decides to mix it up a little and date outside her comfort zone, and she goes on a date with Ben. So at first, their relationship is all cutesy and great, and it's insta love right out of the gate, but it's off season for baseball, and Ben doesn't have his usual distraction, which is the Boston Red Sox. The longer they date, Lindsay begins to wonder why Ben is still single. Like, he has no flaws. How could he possibly still be single? Until the truth is revealed in the baseball preseason, and she catches Ben on TV at spring training acting like a fool. So Ben doesn't just love the Red Sox. He has an obsession and an addiction that she cannot compete with. At first, Lindsay tries to immerse herself in the world of the Red Sox, but it eventually becomes clear that the Red Sox are Ben's first priority, and she's not going to be able to overcome that. So Lindsay says no more, and she dumps Ben, and then it's up to Ben to decide who he loves more, Lindsay or the Red Sox.
Or Josh Damon and his sweetest ass in the league.
So I did rewatch this yesterday. I mean, I've seen it like a million times, but I completely forgot about some of these scenes when I was watching it again yesterday. However, the most unforgettable scene ever, and it's probably one of my favorite comedic scenes in a movie. There is a scene that has led me to use fever pitch as a verb. in real life.
This is
So
a
Ben
very
takes.
rational fear, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's a legit fear that I have when I'm at games.
Oh, me too.
I feel like everyone does, and they don't really know that this may be the reason why. Ben takes Lindsay to a game. So she's falling behind at work. She's a workaholic. So in her attempt to stay on top of work, she brings her laptop and she's working on the laptop during the game. So she's distracted and she doesn't see a rogue foul ball come her way. And she gets nailed right in the face and she just falls over. And then Ben doesn't even realize she got hit with the ball. He's like high-fiving everybody. Oh my God. It's
because he's
funny.
grabbed the ball from the
Oh,
ground
yeah.
at this point.
It's the juxtaposition of she gets nailed in the face with the ball, and then Ben picks up the ball, and he's like, yeah, I got it. And he's high-fiving everyone, and then it's like a cut, and the next thing you see is her going into an MRI machine with this big welt on her head. Oh my God. It is so funny, but it is so like horrifying at the same time.
Yes, it is. Like I do. And like you said, Hallie, I have an extreme paranoia whenever I go to the games and we're sitting close to the field. And I tell my husband, I was like, it is your job to make sure that I do not get fever pitched during this game. If the ball comes our way, you need to catch it because, I would never want to be that person. But anyways, I think this rom-com is one that both sexes can enjoy because you've got the romance for the ladies and you've got the baseball for the guys. And in my opinion, it's not just about falling in love with another person. It's about discovering your love for baseball and the beauty of the game. Ben and Lindsay's relationship kind of follows the trajectory of the 2004 season for the Red Sox. So it started off hot, it began to fizzle a little bit, and then it ends with a bang because then that's when the Red Sox actually won the series for the first time, the World Series, since what was it, 1918, I think?
Yeah.
So it just goes to show how romantic the game of baseball can be and how a series of moments can completely change the outcome of the game for better or worse. So if I were to rate it, I would give it 5 stars because it tugs at the little sentimental strings of my heart.
Yeah.
So good. My favorite part is when he asks her to go to opening day with him.
Yes.
They're like in the middle of a park, and he gets down on one knee with a little box, like he's gonna propose, but it's the tickets. Sorry, this is a spoiler, but they go to opening day together. But after she says yes, he gets up and he's like doing this like actually really kind of good impression of Jimmy Stewart.
Yes.
He's like, oh, we're going opening day.
Yes. Actually, I love that scene too, but my favorite part is he's like, there's something I need to tell you. And she's like, oh, here's the bag of hair. Because
yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. So when she's talking to her friends about him, they're like, why is he single? Like, what's wrong with him? And so they're going through like people that they know and like ways that they've figured out that like the person they're dating is crazy. And they talk about this girl who dated a guy who, when she went to his apartment for the first time, she found 2 giant Ziploc bags containing all the hair and nail clippings from his entire life. Oh my God, no.
And then she's like, oh, here's the bag of hair.
Oh
I
my
love
God,
that
yes.
line so much. I think I've used that in real life a couple of times.
Yeah.
Hair.
Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore have fantastic chemistry in this movie, but it's also got a really great supporting cast. Willie Garson.
Yeah.
Willie Garson. He is in this movie. Marissa Jarrett Winokur is in this movie, and Ione Skye from Say Anything. They play 2 of Lindsay's friends. Yeah, overall, it's a really great movie. I think it's got a really great cast. It's got a lot of heart, and like you said, it just kind of follows the trajectory of that 2004 season for the Red Sox. And genuinely, it's one of the things that when I like for people that don't know a lot about baseball, I feel like you could watch this movie and you could at least get a rudimentary understanding of the game.
Yes.
So definitely,
and like I said, you can understand why people love baseball because nothing happens for innings and innings and innings, and then all of a sudden something happens and all of a sudden they've won.
When Jimmy Fallon's character is talking, he's talking to someone else, and he goes, well, no, I love Lindsay now. I fell in love with this when I was 7 because I had nothing else. So, and that really speaks a lot to how, if we grow up fans of certain teams, we're fans for life. Love it. Shout out Red Sox. Shout out Jimmy Fallon. Shout out Drew Barrymore.
It almost made me want to be a Red Sox fan again. At one point, I did like the Red Sox, but
A little bit.
you know, as an Orioles fan, you can't like the Red Sox too. So,
All right, Melissa. Well, that was absolutely amazing. As always, thank you so much for that recommendation. And if our Glovelies have recommendations for you, where can they find you?
I can find me on Instagram and on Facebook at no_regrets_reader. I love recommendations. Give them to me. I will eventually come back and talk about them.
It doesn't even necessarily have to be books. It could be movies.
It could be, or it could be TV shows. I will take the TV shows as well.
That's true. All right. Well, Glovelies, that's going to do it for this episode of Glove Actually. Thank you all so much for listening. And be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to the Glove Actually podcast on Spotify. And be sure to turn on post notifications to stay in loop when we post new episodes. So, Hallie, this week, what are you looking forward to most in the world of baseball? Who do you hope has fun?
I hope Stinger has fun. And I'm saying this because I know Courtney picked Raymond as her Pookie this week.
Wow. Raymond, the next time you see Hallie, I give you permission to mean mug her.
It would work. I'm afraid of you.
It's true. Melissa, who do you hope has fun this week?
So speaking of Silly Goose players, I hope that all of the Banana Ball players are having fun getting ready for the 2026 draft. The draft should be taking place on October 9th, so it's coming up pretty quick. We're going to find out about 2 brand new teams that they're adding to the league, and then all the locations that they're visiting for the 2026 season, which I'm really hoping Washington and Baltimore are back on the list during days that I could actually attend next year because I couldn't make it this year. I'm so bummed that I missed them. Also, I really kind of hope that if they do come to Washington and Baltimore, the Party Animals make it because I think they're my favorite Banana Ball team. Love them. So if you could please make that happen, Yellow Tux Jesse, get on it. Let's do it.
Come on, Jesse. Come on, Coach Rack. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Come on, Jackson Olsen. Come on. Let's do it.
Oh, Noah Fisher, I love you.
Courtney, who do you hope has fun this week?
I hope Anthony Rizzo has fun this week because I did say earlier that these episodes air after a couple weeks after we record them. But today, Anthony Rizzo announced his retirement from Major League Baseball after a 14-year career and a World Series win with the Chicago Cubs. He is going to be returning to the Cubs so that he can retire as a Chicago Cub. So that is very, very sweet. He used to play for the Padres once upon a time, and then he ended his career with the New York Yankees. But he is going to be returning to Chicago, like I said. So I hope Anthony Rizzo, happy retirement. I hope you have lots of fun this week.
Yes.
Hey.
Congratulations. It's very exciting.
All right. This has been Glove Actually. I'm Courtney.
I'm Hallie.
And I'm Melissa.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great week, Glovelies. And as always, be kind, keep it cute, and stay glovely.